Imagine waking up one morning, looking out your window, and realizing the center of your vision is blurry. You rub your eyes, thinking it's just a bad night's sleep, but the blur stays. This is how macular degeneration often creeps in, silently, without pain, stealing your sharp central vision over time. And here's the shocking part. By the time most people notice symptoms, the damage is already significant. But there's good news. While there's no outright cure yet, research shows we can slow its progress, sometimes dramatically, through simple, consistent lifestyle changes. You don't need expensive treatments or complicated equipment. In fact, many of these habits cost nothing at all. Today, we'll explore 5 proven habits that could help preserve your sight for years to come. These are not random tips pulled from thin air. They're backed by leading ophthalmology research from the National Eye Institute to Harvard's Eye Health Studies. And before we dive in, if you value your vision and want to learn more ways to protect it, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with friends or family who need to hear this. At the end of the video, I'll also be asking you a question about your own daily habits. So keep watching and join the conversation in the comments. The first habit is something you might think you can quit later, but every day you delay could cost you more vision than you realize. Let's start with the elephant in the room, smoking. You've probably heard it's bad for your lungs and heart, but did you know it's one of the strongest risk factors for macular degeneration? Smokers are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop the disease than non-smokers, according to the American Academy of Ophthalmology. And here's the kicker. It doesn't just increase the risk, it speeds up the damage once the disease starts. Cigarette smoke contains thousands of harmful chemicals, including free radicals, that attack the delicate cells of the retina. Over time, these toxins damage the blood vessels that feed your macula, the small but vital part of the eye responsible for sharp central vision. Once those cells are gone, they don't regenerate. Some people think, well, I've smoked for decades. The damage is already done. But research shows quitting at any stage can still slow disease progression. In one long-term study, former smokers saw their risk drop closer to that of non-smokers over time. In other words, it's never too late. Quitting is hard, but it's not impossible. Many people succeed using a combination of nicotine replacement therapy, support groups, and gradual habit changes. The key is to commit to a specific quit date and replace the smoking ritual with something healthier, like a quick walk or deep breathing. And here's the transition you need to hear. While quitting smoking removes one major source of damage, your eyes still need active protection. That's where the second habit comes in, feeding your retina exactly what it needs to defend itself from the inside out. You've probably heard the phrase, you are what you eat, but for your eyes, it's more accurate to say, you see what you eat. The cells in your macula are under constant attack from light, oxygen, and free radicals. To fight back, they need antioxidants, the body's natural defense system. One of the most important nutrients for macular health is lutein, found in dark, leafy greens like spinach and kale, and zeaxanthin, abundant in yellow and orange vegetables like corn and bell peppers. These carotenoids act like internal sunglasses, filtering harmful blue light and protecting your retinal cells. Another powerful ally is omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA, found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These fats make up a significant portion of your retina's structure, keeping it flexible and functioning properly. The Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, olive oil, and fish, has been linked in multiple studies to slower macular degeneration progression. But here's an important twist. Alcohol, especially in excess, can do the opposite. A 2022 Australian study found that drinking more than one standard drink a day significantly increased the risk of late-stage macular degeneration. If changing your entire diet feels overwhelming, start small. Add a handful of spinach to your breakfast eggs, swap one meat dinner for grilled fish each week, or snack on walnuts instead of chips. Over time, these little changes feed your eyes the nutrients they need. But even the best diet sometimes can't provide enough of certain key nutrients. That's where the third habit comes in, one that has decades of scientific evidence behind it. Back in the 1990s, researchers at the National Eye Institute began a massive study to answer a simple but crucial question. Could specific nutrients slow the progression of macular degeneration? This project became known as the Age Related Eye Disease Study, or AREDS, and its results changed eye care forever. The original findings showed that a particular blend of vitamins and minerals significantly reduced the risk of advanced macular degeneration in people who were already in the intermediate stages of the disease. The impact was so remarkable that it became a standard recommendation among ophthalmologists worldwide. But science didn't stop there. A follow up study, AREDS2, fine tuned the formula after researchers discovered that high doses of beta carotene, one of the original ingredients, were linked to a higher risk of lung cancer in smokers. In the updated version, beta carotene was replaced with two powerful antioxidants found naturally in the eye, lutein and zeaxanthin. These carotenoids act like internal shields, filtering harmful light and supporting the structural health of the retina. The AREDS 2 formula is not a miracle pill, and it's not meant for everyone. It's specifically designed for people with intermediate macular degeneration or advanced disease in one eye. For those in the early stages, a nutrient rich diet may still be the better first line of defense. And because these supplements contain high doses of certain minerals like zinc, they can interact with other medications, meaning you should always speak with your eye doctor before starting them. When used appropriately, however, this targeted combination of nutrients can slow the disease's march toward blindness. It's like reinforcing the walls of a castle already under siege, buying precious time for the vision you still have. And as powerful as that sounds, nutrients and supplements alone can't do all the work. Your eyes also need the lifeblood of good circulation, which brings us to the next habit, keeping your body and your vision in motion. Your eyes may be small, but they are incredibly demanding organs. The retina, in particular, consumes more oxygen than almost any other tissue in your body. That means healthy blood flow is non negotiable. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, and obesity all strain the blood vessels in your eyes. Over time, this can reduce the nutrients and oxygen reaching your macula, accelerating degeneration. On the flip side, regular exercise and weight control have been linked to slower disease progression. You don't have to run marathons. Even moderate activities like brisk walking, swimming, or cycling for 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, can improve circulation and reduce inflammation. Resistance training using light weights or resistance bands also helps maintain muscle mass and metabolic health, which indirectly benefits your eyes. If you have high blood pressure, managing it is critical, not just for your heart, but for your vision. Simple changes like reducing salt intake, eating potassium rich foods like bananas and sweet potatoes, and getting regular physical activity can make a big difference. Think of it this way: every heartbeat sends a pulse of life sustaining blood to your retina. Keep that heartbeat strong and steady, and you're giving your eyes the support they need. Now we've tackled internal threats, but there's still an external enemy that can damage your eyes every single day, often without you realizing it. And that's where our fifth habit comes in. Most people think sunglasses are just a summer accessory, but when it comes to macular health, they're a year round necessity. Ultraviolet UV light and high energy visible blue light can cause oxidative stress in your retina, contributing to cell damage over time. UV exposure isn't just from sunny beaches, it reflects off snow, water, and even concrete. Over a lifetime, this repeated exposure adds up. That's why eye specialists recommend wearing sunglasses that block 100% of UVA and UVB rays whenever you're outdoors. Look for labels that say UV 400 for full protection. Blue light from digital screens is a bit more complicated. While current research suggests its effect on macular degeneration is smaller than UV, prolonged exposure, especially at night, can still cause eye strain and may disrupt your sleep cycles. Blue light filtering lenses or screen filters can help, particularly if you spend hours in front of a computer. Another tip: wear a wide brimmed hat when outdoors. It adds an extra layer of shade, reducing glare and stray UV. Protecting your eyes from light damage is like putting a roof over a priceless painting. Without it, the colors fade and details disappear far sooner than they should. Macular degeneration may be common, but it's not inevitable. By quitting smoking, eating a nutrient rich diet, using proven supplements, staying active, and shielding your eyes from harmful light, you can take back control over your vision's future. Remember, you don't need to make all these changes at once. Start with one habit this week, then add another next month. Over time, these small steps build into a powerful defense. Your sight is one of your most valuable treasures. Protect it, nurture it, and it will serve you for decades to come. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up so more people can discover it, and subscribe so you won't miss our next eye health tips. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 habits will you start today? Leave your answer in the comments below and let's start a conversation. Imagine this: you're enjoying a quiet afternoon. Maybe you're reading, knitting, gardening, or scrolling through your phone. Everything seems normal until something strange happens. Out of nowhere, part of your vision changes. A faint shadow appears just at the edge. It moves when you move your eyes. It's not a smudge on your glasses, it's not a piece of dust. And then it grows. It's like a dark curtain slowly being pulled across your sight. Your instinct might be to rub your eyes, to blink hard, hoping it's just a trick of the light. But it doesn't go away. This is the moment that matters most. Many people, even those who are careful about their health, make the mistake of waiting, telling themselves it will clear up in the morning. But with certain eye conditions, waiting can mean permanent damage. The difference between acting now and acting tomorrow can be the difference between saving your sight and losing it forever. That's why today we're talking about 4 urgent warning signs that should send you straight to the eye doctor. No delays, no, I'll see how it feels later. If you notice these symptoms, you need to act immediately. Before we dive in, if you care about protecting your vision and keeping your eyes healthy for years to come, make sure to subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share your own experiences in the comments below. Your story might help someone else recognize a dangerous symptom in time and save their sight. You're looking at a clear blue sky, and suddenly you see tiny specks or squiggly lines drifting in your vision. You blink, but they don't go away. They drift when you move your eyes. And when you try to look directly at them, they seem to dart away. These are known as floaters, and in many cases, they're harmless, caused by small bits of collagen or protein clumping together inside the vitreous, the gel-like substance filling your eye. Over time, especially as we age, the vitreous becomes more liquid, and these clumps cast shadows on the retina, appearing as specks in your vision. But here's the danger: a sudden increase in floaters, especially when combined with other symptoms, can be an early sign of retinal tear or detachment. This is a serious emergency. The retina is the thin, light-sensitive tissue at the back of your eye that sends images to your brain. If it starts to tear away from the supporting tissue, it loses its blood supply. Without oxygen and nutrients, retinal cells begin to die within hours. Imagine peeling wallpaper. At first, only a small section lifts, but leave it and the peeling spreads, making repair harder. The same principle applies to your retina. The longer it's detached, the lower the chances of restoring vision fully. The rule is simple. If you suddenly see more floaters than usual, especially accompanied by flashes of light or a shadow in your vision, don't wait for an appointment next week. Go to an emergency eye clinic today, because the next symptom we'll talk about often appears alongside floaters, and it's even more alarming. Have you ever had a camera flash go off in your face and leave a bright after image? That's normal when a real light source causes it. But what if you see flashes when there's no light at all? These flashes, called photopsia, often look like lightning streaks, sparkles, or camera flashes in the corner of your eye. They can appear randomly, even in a dark room, and last only seconds. But their cause can be anything but harmless. Inside your eye, the vitreous gel is attached to the retina in several places. As we age, the gel can shrink or shift, pulling on the retina. That tugging stimulates the light sensitive cells, tricking your brain into seeing light that isn't really there. If the pulling is strong enough, it can cause the retina to tear. And that's when the real danger begins. A torn retina can quickly progress to a full detachment, cutting off blood flow to part of your eye. The damage from this is permanent if not treated immediately. Flashes can be your first and only warning before irreversible vision loss begins. Some people mistake these flashes for migraines or simple eye strain. While those conditions exist, it's better to let a professional rule out retinal problems rather than assume it's nothing. If you ever see sudden flashes of light, especially with new floaters or a shadow creeping into your vision, don't wait. Seek urgent care. And speaking of shadows, our next symptom might be the clearest sign yet that you're in the middle of an emergency. Imagine standing by a window, looking out at the street. Everything seems clear until part of the scene disappears. It's not like closing one eye. It's not a smudge on your glasses. It's a definite area of missing vision, as if someone pulled a curtain across part of what you see. This is one of the most urgent red flags in eye health. When a shadow or curtain begins to sweep over your vision, it often means retinal detachment is already in progress. By this stage, the retina is no longer fully attached to the underlying tissue that feeds it oxygen and nutrients. Without that lifeline, the cells begin to die. People describe this in many ways, sometimes as a gray shadow creeping inward, other times as a dark veil dropping down, or a smoky fog slowly spreading from one side toward the center. It may start small, barely noticeable at the edges, but it can expand with terrifying speed. Hours can be the difference between saving vision and losing it permanently. The danger is amplified by the fact that the retina has no pain sensors. There's no sharp sting to warn you. The only alarm is what you see, or what you suddenly can't see anymore. And once the cells in the detached area die, even the most advanced surgery can't bring them back. If you ever notice this curtain effect, especially after seeing floaters or flashes, treat it like a full scale emergency. Stop what you're doing. Don't wait to see if it clears up. Get to an emergency eye clinic right away. In situations like this, every minute truly counts. The retina can quietly fail without pain, but the cornea is the opposite. It's one of the most sensitive structures in the body, packed with thousands of nerve endings. Even the smallest injury can feel unbearable. A corneal abrasion is a scratch on the clear protective dome at the front of your eye. It can happen from something as small as a grain of sand, an accidental poke, or rubbing your eyes too hard. At first, it may seem minor. The eye might water, sting, or feel gritty. You might think, I'll sleep it off. But here's the risk. If bacteria get into that scratch, you could develop a corneal ulcer, an open sore that can permanently scar your vision. In severe cases, untreated ulcers can even lead to blindness in that eye. One telltale sign is photophobia or extreme light sensitivity. If suddenly even indoor light feels harsh or you find yourself squinting in dim settings, it's a warning you shouldn't ignore. Combine that with persistent pain, redness, or blurred vision, and you need urgent evaluation. Unlike some retinal issues, corneal problems can worsen rapidly within 24 hours. The earlier you start treatment, usually with antibiotic or antifungal eye drops, the better the outcome. And remember, you don't need to be hit in the eye for damage to occur. Contact lenses worn too long, dust storms, or even aggressive eye rubbing can set the stage for injury. Bottom line, if your eye suddenly hurts and light becomes unbearable, don't wait. See an ophthalmologist right away. At first glance, retinal detachment and corneal injury seem like two completely different problems. One happens deep inside the eye, the other right on its surface, but they share a crucial similarity. Both can steal your vision permanently if you delay treatment. Retinal detachment can take away part or all of your sight in as little as a few hours. The longer the retina is without its blood supply, the lower the chances of a full recovery. Even successful surgery might not restore your vision to what it was before. Corneal injuries, on the other hand, can progress from a small scratch to a full-blown ulcer shockingly fast. Within days, or sometimes just overnight, the infection can dig deep enough to leave a scar, permanently blurring your vision. The sad truth: many people lose their sight because they assume the symptoms will fade. They wait, hoping for improvement, only to find that they've passed the window for effective treatment. This is why ophthalmologists stress the better safe than sorry approach. If you're unsure whether a symptom is serious, it's still worth an urgent check. An exam might reveal nothing more than a temporary irritation, but if it's something worse, you'll be glad you caught it in time. Vision is one of the senses we rely on most, yet it's also one we often take for granted until something goes wrong. Your eyes are small, but their systems are complex and incredibly delicate. Once damage occurs to key structures like the retina or cornea, it can be irreversible. That's why speed is everything when it comes to eye emergencies. If you notice sudden floaters, flashes, a curtain over your vision, severe pain, or intense light sensitivity, you shouldn't wait to see if it improves. Go to an emergency eye clinic immediately. If your area doesn't have one, go to the ER. Most hospitals can connect you with an on-call ophthalmologist. You might wonder, what if it's nothing? That's fine. Eye doctors would rather send you home with peace of mind than see you days later when the damage is done. When you arrive, be ready to explain exactly when the symptoms started, how they've changed, and whether you've had any recent injuries or surgeries. The more information you give, the faster they can act. Treatment for these issues has the highest success rate in the earliest hours. In the case of retinal detachment, surgery within 24 hours can be the difference between full recovery and permanent loss of vision. For corneal injuries, prompt antibiotics can stop infection before it scars. The main takeaway? Don't gamble with your sight. Acting fast doesn't just give you the best chance, it may be the only chance. Floaters, flashes, a creeping curtain, sharp pain, blinding sensitivity to light. None of these are just normal or just aging. They are red alerts from your eyes, telling you that something is seriously wrong. The cruel thing about many vision-threatening conditions is how quietly they can begin. They don't always cause dramatic pain or obvious changes until it's too late. That's why knowing these warning signs and reacting quickly is your best defense. I've seen too many stories. People who waited just a little too long, thinking they were saving time or avoiding a false alarm, only to find the damage couldn't be undone. I don't want that to happen to you. So here's my challenge to you. Make a promise right now that if you ever notice these symptoms, you will act immediately. No hesitation, no waiting. And before you go, help us spread this message. Subscribe to this channel for more vision-saving tips. Hit the like button so YouTube shows this video to more people. And most importantly, share your own experiences in the comments. You never know. Your story might be the one that convinces someone to get help in time. Your sight is priceless. Protect it with everything you've got.